Okay, so we are going to understand the BIDMAS rule. And BIDMAS is an acronym for brackets, indices, division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. Now some examples of brackets would be, say we had -2 inside brackets. Indices we know are 2 to the 3, 4 to the 2, 6 to the 7. We have here our base of the number. Here we have our indice. Plural would be indices. We have division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So what does BIDMAS tell us? It essentially tells us the order of carrying out our operations. So we can see here that brackets would be first. If we had an expression that had a brackets in it, we would have to do that first. And then we have indices. Here we have division and multiplication. Even though division is written before multiplication, they actually have the same precedence. So they both have the same priority in ordering, carrying out the operation. So we have here also, we have addition and subtraction. It's the same thing for addition and subtraction. They both have the same precedence. So let's look at a few examples. Let's get into some examples and we'll hopefully understand what the BIDMAS does for us. So let's say let's say we had 3 times 15 divided by 5. Right, we can see that this expression has 2 operations in it. It has a division and a multiplication. And both of these operations share the same precedence. And so because they share the same precedence, I'm going to start my calculation going from left to right. So if I was to calculate that, that would be 3 times 15, which is 45, divided by 5, which is 9. Now, let's say I took the same numbers and the same operations, but I just rearranged them a little bit. So I had 5 divided by 15 times 3. Now again, even though the operations here are swapped, division comes first in this case, they both have the same precedence. So again, I'm gonna carry out my calculation going from the left to the right. Alright, and if we calculate that, that'll be 5 over 15 is 1 over 3 times 3 is 1. So let's take some addition and subtraction. Let's say I had 7 plus 5 minus 2 plus 1. Again, we have addition and subtraction. They both share the same precedence. And so I'm going to start my calculation going from the left to the right. And so that 7 plus 5 is 12, minus 2 is 10, plus 1 is 11. Now let's take a mix. Let's take something a little trickier. Let's say we had a mix of addition and multiplication. So we had something like 7 plus 2 times 3. Now we might be tempted to begin our calculation from the left going towards the right. However, if we look closely at this expression, we'll see it has an addition and a multiplication. If we look at our rule of BIDMAS, we see that multiplication comes before addition. And so in fact, we would actually be starting from the right going off to the left. So our expression would look like this. And so we'll go from the left to the right, and that will be 3 times 2 is 6, plus 7 equals 13. But what if we didn't go according to the law of BIDMAS, and we just performed our calculation from the left to the right in this case, and we said 7 plus 2 is 9, times 3 equals 27. we can see that they are completely different answers. We have here a 27 and 13. So it would be quite cool for you to try if you was to just put this calculation, put this expression here into your calculator, say 7 plus 2 times 3, and see what answer it gives you. Will it give you 27 or will it give you 13? If it gives you 13, then you can be assured that your calculator is programmed according to the law of BIDMAS. Alright, so let's take another example. This time we will include brackets and indices. Alright, so we'll write our BIDMAS rule again here as a reference point. And remember, that's brackets, indices, division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So let's take our second example. Let's say we had this expression. Let's do a different colour. Let's say we had 2 plus 9 multiplied by, let's say we have 5 plus 2 to the power of 2. Alright, and so we can see that this expression has 2 sets of brackets in it, and it has a multiplication sign, has a multiplication operation between it. So because they're both brackets, they both have the same precedence, and so we're going to begin our calculation going from the left to the right. And so we're going to look at our first brackets here. We have an addition operation inside the bracket. That's 2 plus 9, which is 11. And then we're going to multiply that, and then we're going to we're going to evaluate the expression inside this bracket here. So notice inside of this brackets we have an operation, we have an addition operation, and we also have an indice, right? And so we're going to handle the indice first. So we'll say 2 to the power of 2, which is 4. And the reason why we handle it first, obviously we have our indice here, and that comes before our addition. So we'll handle our indice first, and we have 2 to the power of 2 is 4, plus 5 is 9. So we have 11 times 9, which is 99. Alright, let's take another example. So let's take the expression 7 plus minus 5 plus 2 to the 2. There's the brackets there. Alright, so looking at this expression, we have 2 sets of brackets, and we have a singular number, and we have 2 operations. Alright, and then inside each of the brackets here we have some further operations. So just remembering our law of BIDMAS, it's BIDMAS. Remember that the B stands for brackets, and so we're going to handle our brackets first. We're going to handle this side of the operation first before this side. So we're just going to write it the conventional way. Let's say minus 2 plus 7 times minus 5 plus 2 squared plus 7. Alright, and so we're now going to evaluate going from the left to the right. So we have minus 2 plus 7 is 5, and that's multiplied by, now see here inside this brackets we have 2 sets of operations. We have an addition, and we also have an indice. And so we're going to handle the indice first, because we can see here that indices come before addition. So we're going to evaluate this part first. That's 2 to the power of 2 is 4. Then we'll add that to minus 5, and that becomes minus 1. And then we have add 7. And we can see this is in perfect order. We have our addition, we have our multiplication sign here, and our addition sign here. We're going to go again from the left to the right. So we're going to say 5 times minus 1 would be minus 5, plus 7, and that equals 2. Alright, thank you for watching Quick Math. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you again soon. Bye bye.